Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I'm Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 3-day per week, 12 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 371 of our trek, and today is Philosophy Friday. Each Friday, our trek will be philosophical in nature, and this is the second week of our trek that is focused on the cycles and seasons of life. This information is a combination of my own life experiences and learning from one of my virtual mentors, Jim Rohn, as well as many others. We are broadcasting from our studio at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. During the past month, we have removed and refinished the name and address signs that hung at the entrance of our driveway. They are finally hung back out, and we are very pleased with the result. I am continuing to work on sanding the stairs and the downstairs hallway and foyer. Hopefully, I'll be able to start applying polyurethane to the woodwork and the floors this next week. There's also a small amount of crown molding trim that needs to be finished by our contractors, so hopefully he'll be able to work this into his schedule next week also. Renovations on the large old home are never ending, but we do enjoy the process. This is true of every aspect of our lives. There are different phases and seasons that we go through, but if we live wisely, we will have much to be thankful for, and we can enjoy our journey each day. This does not mean that we will hike on smooth trails every day, but it does mean that we will be prepared for the rocks, the limbs, the washout, and other obstacles that encounter our trek of life each day. If we are adequately prepared, then we will navigate life successfully. It is now time to set out on our trek for today as we continue to consider how our environment affects our circumstances within the cycles and seasons of life. One of the most important aspects of how successful you are in all areas of your life is who and what you allow to influence you, especially what you allow permeating your mind. Sometimes you can accumulate a mixture of people and situations in life which, if not altered in some way, will assure that your future will be just about like your past. That could either be a positive or negative aspect of your future. Moving positively forward within your life does have its price. For each positive gain that you make, automatically produces a loss or sacrifice in some other area of your life. With that understanding, even if you do try to avoid it, you will be affected in a negative way by something each day. One of the great challenges of life is to have both the wisdom to recognize those sources of negativity and the courage to cast them aside if necessary. None of us would voluntarily drink a glass of deadly poison if we knew what it was. Yet each of us has friends, relatives, and business associates whose effect on us is just as deadly as drinking that glass of poison. The difference is that one form of poison kills instantly. Once consumed, the body recoils, weakens, and then all bodily functions cease. The other poison that we receive from those we associate with kills our hopes, our ambitions, our enthusiasm, and our thirst for achievement. The methods are different, but the ultimate result is the same. There is very little difference between one who has given up his life and one who has given up his hope. There are those who will laugh if you read useful books, and yet there is very little difference between those who cannot read and those who will not read. The result of both is ignorance. There are those who will discourage you when you search for better occupation or focus in your life, and yet it is essential that you find your calling and purpose in life if true happiness is to be found. The interesting point here is to note that a calling and purpose do not have to be some grand and magnificent feat that changes the entire world. It can be seemingly small, insignificant daily faithfulness that will change the life of someone in your world, maybe even your own life. There are those who will frown upon you when you set ambitious goals, and yet without goals there can be no achievement, and without achievement life will continue as it has been. There are those who will gossip about you if you are doing well, and yet there can be no rejoicing among those who are doing poorly. There are those who will whine and cry and try to guilt you if you take another trail in search of a better life, and sometimes you must turn away from those who affect limits us, in spite of the tears and false guilt. There are those who will hate you when you achieve an improved life, and yet there can be little happiness in poverty, nor is there love between those who choose to endure it. One of the disappointments of life is that friends will abandon you when you begin to change your life for a better life, and yet those who remain behind will say, "You have forgotten us now that your life has improved." You must flip this thinking upside down. It is those who accept their mediocrity that choose to remain behind. When you do achieve a successful life in any or all aspects, it should be your desire to return to your earlier friends and embrace them in friendship and love, even if they did not treat you the same way. It may be surprising, though, because of the jealousy among those who remain behind, they will not be accepting of you. As harsh as it may sound, you have to realize that their mindset is their choice, and you must keep moving forward even if they choose not to. As I am approaching my 60th birthday, I have come to realize that which you may also experience. It is often difficult to pause in the middle of life for the purpose of sifting out the debris that you have collected through the years. If you are like most of us, you tend to accumulate and cling on to ideas that limit your progress. You cherish friendships even if those friendships impede your personal growth. You allow yourself acquaintances whose conversation affects or destroys your attitude about life and people. Sometimes you maintain business associations, although those associates teach you immoral, illegal, or unethical practices. In the workplace, you may learn shortcuts for increasing profits while decreasing quality. In countless ways, you wander through life allowing people, their attitudes, and their ideas to mold your character. Peoples whose attitude and ideas have brought themselves little progress, productivity, or happiness in life. Unpopular as it may seem, you may be accumulating people, customs, attitude, habits, opinions, and philosophies which you very simply cannot afford to keep. That is, if you seek honestly after an improved life. Friendships are indeed valuable, but so is human life. It is foolish to fall short of your potential because you fear alienating a friend that may not be good for your long-term growth. I am in no way encouraging not treating others with kindness and love, but you have to be very careful on how much time you invest in those that are toxic to your life. The return on your investment will be devastating. Here is an example of what I mean. You gather with a few business associates or friends for lunch, which may be a very common everyday occurrence. But if you're not careful, in 1 hour, not only do you satisfy your hunger for food, but also your hunger for gossip, ridicule, and condemnation of those not present. And then you repeat half-truths brought to you through hearsay. You find yourself complaining about government, politicians, management, co-workers, traffic, taxes, weather, and the system, while doing nothing to produce solutions that will change these situations. Even if those conversations do reveal probable solutions, you make no effort to communicate them with those who can possibly implement them, and you accept things as the way they are. If your attitudes, results, or unhappiness is ever to improve, you must exercise the painful discipline required for weeding out the garden of your life. Eating alone is better than mingling with those whose conversation is negative. Canceling an appointment is better than keeping an appointment with those who will simply waste your time. Changing a conversation is better than a prolonged conversation designed to degrade someone else. Telling the whole painful truth is better than a half-truth distorted to make yourself look or sound good. Saying no is better than saying yes to something that you don't want to do or to someone you don't want to be with. Being firm is better than being courteous to those whose caustic personality does not justify courtesy. The improvement of your personal circumstances means that you must do what those who fail are simply not willing to do. Better than many wrong friends are a few of the right friends. Better than a few of the wrong friends are no friends at all. Be careful on who you allow to influence your life. In the Apostle Paul's letter to the Corinthian church, he wrote in chapter 15, verse 33, "Don't be fooled by those who say such things, for bad company corrupts good character." A better way to design a successful life is to always encourage others, as mentioned in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. So encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing. On the trail of the cycles and seasons of life today, we have uncovered some basic truths on how easily others can affect our mindset and life direction. Let us not drink their poison any longer, but take the shackles of wrong relations off and to pursue friendships with those that are hiking on the same trail with us, toward a common destination. As we wrap up today, I want to remind you to be faithful to your Proverbs 31-day challenge. For each day of June, read a chapter in Proverbs that corresponds to the day of the month. In less than 5 minutes a day, you can take your daily wisdom supplements, which if repeated each day, will make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Our next trek will be Motivation Monday, where we will hike the trail to the land where you can achieve anything. So encourage your friends and family to join us, and then come along with us on Monday for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. That will finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy your doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person, and invite them to come along with us on each trek. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks, they are available at wisdom-trek.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Trek on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, or Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. The journal for today's trek is available at wisdom-trek.com, and thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you on Monday.